Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. What a show we have for you today. We're going to dissect whatever the hell that was yesterday with Taijuan Walker. Remember, this was really great. Remember when all of Philadelphia united, regardless of race, creed, whatever, neighborhood, whatever. Everyone united, and we all joined forces in understanding and promoting the idea that Taijuan Walker should not start another game for the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Philadelphia Phillies are like, you just wait, because his velo, when we were in Kansas City, his velo was really good. And we're like, no, seriously, please don't start Taijuan Walker again. They're like, you'll see. And then Taijuan Walker went on to allow 13 hits on 6 runs on 13 hits. And after the game, we'll let you hear him say it. Rob Thompson, although he did say the Phillies need to discuss. When Rob Thompson says we need to discuss something, bad things are about to happen for the person they're about to talk about. Like, he's not going to start again. So I really think that he's done. I think there's no logical explanation for why the Phillies would start Taijuan Walker again this season. Now, here's the hot take. And when we started this show, I talked a lot about protecting that from the hot take, protecting the fan base from the hot take, the thing that's there not for accuracy, but just for attention. The hot take is DFA Taijuan Walker. I'll drive him to the airport. You right, that whole thing? Here's what needs to happen. Because I also don't want the Phillies to just light $18 million on fire either. Taijuan Walker is, and I've made this point many times. I've been making this point since last week against the Kansas City Royals. You shut him down because you have an easy way out that way. And it seems like it is the most obvious thing to do. Shut Taijuan Walker down. You essentially forfeit the rest of his season. What are you trying to get him right for? Are you trying to get him ready for the playoffs? You didn't even use him last year in the playoffs, and his ERA was 2 runs lower. He's having the worst season of his career. He's been on the IL 2 separate stints, one to start the season and the one he just came back from, a month ago? Are we serious about this? Are we really doing this? You didn't even use him in the postseason, and he's supposed to be better than he was last year, and last year you didn't even use him? How does that make any sense? So shut him down for the rest of the year. Get somebody else up here that can help this Phillies team win a couple ball games down the stretch as you try to jockey for position for only the best record in baseball and home field advantage throughout the postseason. But it said, no, let's keep rolling this guy out there. Gives you no chance to win. Brilliant idea. It's a very simple concept. You sign him to a 4-year, $72 million deal. You owe him $18 million for the next 2 seasons. Okay. You sit him down now. You hit the reset button in the offseason. You bring him back next year. You see if he's got anything. And then if he doesn't have anything, see you later. This is so simple. And Phillies fans were ahead of it. My man Anthony hit me up on Twitter yesterday. And he said, you know that old adage about if you make decisions for the fans, you end up sitting with them? Right? Well, his point was sometimes we're not wrong. You had it. You had it. I tweeted out yesterday a very similar scenario that I laid out for you at the beginning of the show about all of Philadelphia not wanting Taijuan Walker. And the Phillies were like, no. And someone was like, you're late to this party. And I'm like, you know what's funny? The Phillies aren't even here yet, though. Yet we're all here. The Phillies aren't at the party yet of sitting Taijuan Walker down for the rest of the year. And it's like, I don't know. It's like so many different things where you try to warn your friends, don't get back with that person. Don't get back together. And they get back together. It's great. Ben and that Jennifer lady. Yeah. The Benifer, as I remember, right? You say this isn't going to end. It's over. Like, that's what it's like. They keep going back to Taijuan Walker. Please stop. I do think that yesterday was his last start of the season. And when you hear from Rob Thompson, I think that's the way it's going to go. There's no justification. This was even too much yesterday. We'll get into the whole thing. I've been teasing 2 things. One, I've been teasing that we're going to have a gentleman from Brazil on the program. Today, we have a gentleman from Brazil on the program. Now, here's the deal. Brazil, we spell it with a Z. They spell it with an S. So in the crawl below, and I'll point this out during the show, it's spelled with an S because I'm cultural. Anyway, he joins the show. He talks to us about how excited he is that Philadelphia Eagles fans. He's been a Philadelphia Eagles fan since 2009. Young man. He loved the Eagles from then on. And he tells the story of how he becomes an Eagles fan. He gives you the inside scoop if you're going there. If you have friends going down there, I think we all know somebody that's going to be going down to Brazil. The heads up they need for their own safety. Whether or not you can wear green in the stadium of the Corinthians. All that gets answered. And speaking of hot takes, my man Gabriel Bessa drops this on me. That the pizza in Brazil is better than what we get in the United States. What? How dare you? How dare you? So he gives you that information. Also talks about, again, the safety things is one of the reasons I wanted to have him on, because there's a lot of talk about, players don't leave the hotel room. Be careful with your cell phones. Any fan going down there. I forgot about the jewelry. He reminded me of the jewelry. So he gets into that. He talks about his own Eagles fandom as well, and just how he reacted. Oh, there's also an Eagles bar down there, because of course there is. And he talks about how excited he was when the NFL announced that the Eagles were going to be going to his home country of Brazil. So he joins the program coming up a little bit later. So I look forward to you guys hearing that conversation that he and I had yesterday. That's what you got, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the final cut down for the practice squad. I was very pleased to see EJ Jenkins make it onto that practice squad. I was very pleased to see Eagles rookie center McMahon make the roster. Dylan McMahon make the roster as well for the practice squad. So, all right, a couple of guys. Oren Burks as well on the practice squad. Paris Campbell on the practice squad. Okay, all right. At least they're still around. They're still around. Jack Stahl coming back. Welcome back, baby. A little worried about that tight end spot. Maybe not so much now. But that's the way that broke down yesterday. All right. Let's do this. First off, I just want to help everybody out here. I think this was so the Phillies say Taijuan Walker starting against the Astros. Rob Thompson, to be more specific. The Philadelphia fans are like, please don't. Rob Thompson's like, no, his velo was like really good. And Philadelphia fans, when they sat down yesterday at Citizens Bank Park on the hottest day in quite some time, I think this was what most Phillies fans, I think this is how they took their seat yesterday. Ugh. I haven't used it in a while. One more time. Ugh. Phillies fans are in their seats yesterday. After that, like, all right, let's watch this crap. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. And here's the thing. Altuve steals home in the first inning of yesterday's game. And don't worry, we're not going through the whole game. We're just going to talk. I won't even talk about Michael Mercado. That was awful. But anyway, Taijuan Walker goes out there, one run in the first inning. Altuve steals home on Bryce Harper more so than he does Taijuan Walker, so it is what it is. But he gives a leadoff double there to Altuve. Then he walks Alvarez. He gets Bregman, to fly out to or pop out to first base. Pena grounds into the 4-6-3 fielder's choice, 4-6 fielder's choice. Then Altuve steals home on that play when during the at-bat when Walker tries to pick him off. So it's 1-0, 18 pitches in the first inning for Taijuan Walker. Second inning, unscathed. Not terrible. 9-pitch inning. Third inning, 16 pitches. Doesn't give up a run. Gives up 3 hits in the inning. Somehow does not give up a run. All right. Then the fourth inning, all hell broke loose. 5 runs. 5 runs. Now, if you've been following the show, the exact scenario I laid out after the Kansas City Royals start was that the Phillies are going to start him again. They're going to do it again. They're going to start him again. It's going to happen. But when he gets shelled in the fourth inning, and this is my prediction, when he gets shelled in the fourth inning, which he did, to the tune of 5 runs, to the tune of 2 home runs, and he gets pulled. That's where I was wrong. He didn't get pulled in the fourth inning. Man. The fans don't need to boo Taijuan Walker. The fans don't need to boo anybody on the field. The fans need to turn around and boo the front office for allowing this to happen. Despite all our warnings of please don't. Taijuan Walker's done. Sit him. And just never pitch for the Phillies this season again. Last start. They did not take our advice. They did not heed our warning. They rolled him out there, and he gave up 6 runs on 13 hits. And that was through the first 4 innings of work. He gave up his 12th and 13th hit, one in the 5th inning, one in the one in the 5th inning, one in the 6th inning. And those are actually pretty clean innings for him for the most part. When he got to the 6th inning, when he closed that out, he was at 93 pitches. You know what I was thinking? It was 6-0 at that point. I was thinking, just keep going. Because if this really is his last start, it should be his last start. Give him one more inning, then you shut him down, and that helps your bullpen. That saves one bullpen arm for tomorrow night for a series against the Braves that you desperately need to win. The Braves start this 4-game series tonight, 5 games behind the Phillies. It is not out of the realm of possibility that the Phillies get swept, and this is over, and they're only 1 game up on the Braves in the division. And then God only knows what the Mets are going to be doing against Arizona. I think they still have. This is horrifying. But yet the Phillies are in this situation right now where they're just going to roll out Taijuan Walker for this start, and then they're going to talk about it afterwards. Speaking of talking about it afterwards, Rob Thompson addressed the media after the game on Taijuan Walker and what's going wrong.
I don't really have an answer for it. I thought he was okay for the first couple innings, and then he lost finish in the 4th, but there wasn't a whole lot of hard contact early, but 4th there was. But to his credit, he gave us the 5th and 6th and wanted to go back out there and save the bullpen. So, it was a rough day all the way around in every aspect.
Where do you go from here with that?
Now we got to talk about it.
When Walker came back in after that 4th inning, I don't think you had a conversation with him. What was that about?
Well, I just want to make sure he was okay, and he wanted to go back out. And then in the 5th inning, it was like 13 pitches, so he still had some pitches left, and so I wanted to make sure he was okay again, and he wanted to go back out. So he finished strong. That 4th inning was a little rough.
Is there a possibility that he starts again this year?
We got to discuss it.
I think I need Vic Fangio one more time. Vic Fangio response to Rob Thompson. Okay, thank you. This guy, Rob Thompson, is every ounce of a player's manager. Look no further than what Nick Castellanos had to say about him 2 days ago. We're all, myself included, calling for Nick Castellanos to get a day off, step away for a second. And what does Rob Thompson do? Rob Thompson not only sticks with him, but Rob Thompson has Nick Castellanos back clean up against the Giants. And ever since then, he has been an all-star hitter, essentially. A lot closer to what we saw at the start of last year, where he did make an all-star team. And he's been one of the most consistent hitters in the Phillies lineup ever since then. Like, literally. I'm talking about June, July, August, all 270-plus batting average, which I know is not a batting title, but it's a pretty decent batting average nowadays. Rob Thompson's trying to say all the right things and do all the right things surrounding Taijuan Walker, but it's over. There's no saving this. Taijuan Walker should not start another game for the Philadelphia Phillies. It feels more of a statement of fact than an opinion. And everyone seems to be on the same page with this except the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't know if there's ever been anything more obvious than for the Phillies to make this decision and sit Taijuan Walker for the rest of the year. Taijuan, we tried. You came back multiple times, and you tried your best. You tried your damnedest, despite 2 separate IL stints, and it ain't there, man. Worst season of your career. And we're still rolling you out that we can't do that anymore. We want to make sure that we can recoup something on our investment here. for the remainder of the 2 years that are left on this deal. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut you down. You spend time just getting healthy, figuring it out mentally, and then hopefully next year you come back with an ERA that, is something a little bit more manageable and justifiable even for a back end of the rotation type guy. Let's do that. Otherwise, the $18 million you're spending on him is going to cost you the $40+ million you're spending on other arms in your rotation. Because the only reason you're paying guys that much money is to make sure you win a World Series. And one of the ways you can help yourself winning a World Series if you don't start Taijuan Walker and you help your own cause of actually winning baseball games down the stretch to help your playoff position and potentially get home field advantage. This is absolutely insane to me that the Phillies haven't figured this one out yet. Literally everyone had it figured out already before yesterday and knew yesterday was a mistake. We could not have looked more brilliant, Philadelphia, than telling the Phillies, don't do it. They did it. And now they're going to shut them down. Day late and $1 short, unfortunately. That ain't cool. And every Phillies fan that went out there and sat through 98-degree weather, whatever it was yesterday, good Lord. 4:05 in the afternoon, at least, right? It was still hot. I heard Taijuan Walker after the game talk about, I got a lot of ground balls. I was like, dude, I admire guys that are standing there taking the questions, but good Lord. He did say he's never struggled like this in his career, and that is true. Not with the Mariners, not with the Mets, not with the Braves, and not even with the Phillies last year. Last year, Taijuan Walker he only had one start that he allowed more than 6 runs. He had 3 or 4 starts where he allowed 5 runs. But never had a start where he allowed 6 or more. Had one start where he allowed 6 or more runs. Yesterday, also, you should know that it was almost the worst loss in the history of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I don't know what the greatest run differential is in their history. Off the top of my head, it doesn't come to mind. But I know it's been worse than 10 runs, obviously. But of all they've been no hit, I believe, 14 times throughout their history. In 1925, I can't remember the gentleman's last name. His nickname was Dazzy. Dazzy no-hit the Phillies. Dazzy was a pitcher for the Brooklyn Robins, which was a team I didn't even know existed before yesterday. And he no-hit the Phillies through 9 innings in a 10-1 loss. A 10-1 Phillies loss. So the Phillies got a run in that no-hitter somehow. Obviously, there's ways you can do that. But I was like, oh, that okay. So this could potentially be you get no hit and lose by 10. That's never happened. Fortunately, Austin Hayes continues to swing a hot bat. Gets that infield single just enough in the hole between third and short. And he beats it out to first for the Phillies' first hit of the ballgame in the 8th inning. But the Phillies got no hit into 8 innings. So, yes, Taijuan Walker was terrible. It wasn't like the offense did anything to keep this a game. So there's that. Now the pivotal series comes up here against the Atlanta Braves. The way this looks like it's shaping up here pitching-wise is that Sanchez, Suarez, Wheeler, Nola will go in this series. And then Monday off, Taijuan Walker is on ESPN's schedule right now to be the starting pitcher. I'm going to go ahead and assume that does not happen. And the Phillies, at the very least, I don't even want to entertain the possibility. Like, he's done. Shut him down. But as you just heard from Rob Thompson, you could entertain the idea of just skipping Taijuan Walker's next start and having him come back again in 10 days. Nope. Not for that one. No, thank you. Because at that point, you're September 9th, September 8th. You got 3 weeks left in the month. You got 3 weeks left in the season, and you're going to still try to salvage Taijuan Walker? No, I'd rather see what Colby Allard's got, who's done well for you this year. I'd rather see Tyler Phillips try to develop as a younger pitcher for this thing. I'd rather not see Michael Mercado. I'm good with Michael Mercado. Colby Allard would be my guy. He's only pitched really well for you at every opportunity you've given him. So why not have him pitch a little bit more? And then we're done with the Taijuan Walker experiment. We could be done with this. And again, it's just again, there's certain times where you give opinions and you're just like, well, this is how I feel about it, blah, blah, blah. And there's certain times like, this is a fact that you're not acknowledging. You are in denial, Philadelphia Phillies. I'm trying to help you, Philadelphia Phillies. So this one comedian recently talked about things that like fans will say or hosts will say, and it's like, we'll do all this work pro bono, and we'll try to give this information to our favorite sports teams. We're trying to help, Phillies. We're trying to help. All right. That's enough of that. I tell the story in this interview. And I don't have my mans? I don't have my mans? I got to have my mans up here. Where did I put that? So some months ago, when I was talking about the Phillies or the Eagles going down to Brazil, I had an interaction with a fan in Brazil. And my interaction was it was kind of him correcting me is what it was. And the way it broke down was he basically called me on my BS, and it was like, hey, man, it's going to be awesome to have the Eagles down here. The Eagles are my favorite football team. God forbid that Philadelphia loses one game to us in Brazil. I'm like, oh, he's down there in Brazil. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what he has to say about it. So he and I went back and forth a little bit. I said, hey, you know what? When we get closer to the season, would you be up for coming on the show? And Gabriel was kind enough to be like, yeah, man, I'll come on the show. Let's have ourselves a good time. So here's my man, Gabriel Bessa. Make sure you guys follow Gabriel. He'll be going to the game, as a matter of fact, and I'm sure you can hit him up. He offers in the interview you can hit him up and talk a little birds with him, talk about your trip down to Brazil. So without further ado, let's head on down to Brazil, talk to our new friend, Farzi's show correspondent now for Brazil, Gabriel Bessa joins us. Here he is. And joining us right now, the Rothman Orthopedics guest line, all the way from Brazil. Now you're going to notice in the crawl, it's Brazil with an S, not a Z, yes, like we spell it up here in the United States. We're going all Brazil. We're going full Brazilian on the show today. Gabriel Bessa joins us, an Eagles fan all the way from Brazil. You got to be pumped, Gabriel. Thank you for joining us. How excited are you that the Eagles are going to be playing down there in your country?
Yeah, man, I'm very excited. I've never been able to go to Philly, so the Eagles are coming to Brazil. That's awesome.
When the NFL announced this some months ago, there was a clip that went out of me ripping the idea, saying Philadelphia shouldn't be losing a home game, and you called me on it. You're like, oh, excuse me, that Eagles fans down here in Brazil actually get to see their team live and in person, and I invited you to come on the show. Here you are, through the beauty and glory of social media. What was it like for you, though, when that announcement came over from the NFL that the Eagles were going to be playing right in front of you?
Well, it was very surprising, to say the least, because the Eagles are a popular team here. I'd say they are in the top 10 of biggest fan bases in Brazil, but they are not like on the top 5. So they're not the most popular teams. So I was a little bit surprised, but I think it makes sense. The team has a lot of star power, and they have great players. So I think it makes sense.
How did you become an Eagles fan?
Yes, sure. So back in 2009, I was interested in the NFL. ESPN here back then, they broadcasted only the primetime games. So I was here in my bedroom, and I was watching the Sunday Night Football, and it was Eagles against the Giants, and it was a great game. I think it was 45 to 38 for the Eagles, and so I really liked the helmets with the wings, and yeah, and they are from Philly, and I'm a big Rock Balboa fan, so I thought, whoa, they must be a great team, right? So they gotta have a bunch of Super Bowls. But then I went to the Wikipedia and saw that they are the only team in the NFC East with a losing record and no Super Bowls. But the team hooked me up back then, and I am an Eagles fan ever since.
So, you're like, I love this team. Their uniforms, they're from the city where Rocky's from. Oh, they can't win, and they have no Super Bowls. I'm hooked. Like that.
Yes,
that sold you on us here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I like the underdog mentality. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now that's great. I'm very happy to hear that. What's it like down there when you are amongst your fellow Eagles fans in Brazil? How passionate are they? How into the birds are they?
We are all very passionate. I think that when the Eagles play in the playoffs, we go to a local pub here, and then we see the other fan bases that they go there as well to watch the game, and we are way more passionate than them. That's for sure.
Okay.
I've seen Chiefs fans and 49ers fans, and there's no one that are like us here in Brazil as well. So I think that in this we are very similar to Eagles fans from Philly. We are very diehard and a little bit crazy sometimes. So I think that when we compare to the other teams, we are for sure more passionate.
Do you have a favorite Eagle?
Lifetime or from this current
lifetime?
team?
Give me both. Give me your lifetime favorite Eagle, and then who you like on this team right now.
Well, lifetime, I really like Jason Kelsey. I think that's a cliche response, but he's awesome. I also really like BG. So,
Sure.
And right now, I think that from the current roster, if I exclude BG, I think AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
Fair enough. Look, we've been hearing a lot in the United States about American football teams going into South America, going into Brazil in this particular case, and we're hearing a lot about not wearing green in this particular stadium in São Paulo. How do you say where they're playing? The city in which they're playing?
São Paulo.
São Paulo. Okay, good.
Yes.
At least I knew that part. What's this story about not wearing green, but the NFL decided to have two teams with green as their primary color play in the stadium? Where do the teams lie in this, and should fans wear to the game?
Okay. So first of all, the story is that the stadium that they're gonna play in the Neoquímica Arena, it's a stadium from the Corinthians team. So the owners of the stadium is Corinthians, which is a team that the primary colors are white and black and white basically, and their biggest rival is Palmeiras, and their color is green. So that's where the green, the hatred for the color green comes from. I'm actually a Corinthians fan, so I faced some backlash back then when I started rooting for the Eagles, because my family all root for Corinthians, and they're like, "Man, how can you root for a green team?" So, but that's just that's just problematic if you go to the Corinthians game wearing green jerseys. But in this sense, like, we are going to an Eagles game, so there's nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm. All right. When fans are walking around the city, though, will it be kind of known throughout the city, like, oh, no, they don't hate the Corinthians or anything like that. They don't hate Corinthians or anything like that. They're just rooting for the Eagles or rooting for the Packers. People can feel okay about that.
Yeah, no one will care. I go out with my Eagles jerseys, and no one cares. Actually, I have an Eagles tattoo here on my left arm, and I go to Corinthians game, and I've never been beaten up by that. So because of that, so that's fine. It's green, and no one cares.
Fantastic. What advice, just from a tourism perspective, what advice would you give someone coming into São Paulo to see a game, to visit the city and all that stuff? What advice would you give Eagles fans, Packers fans even, that are going down to that stadium or going down to the city?
Sure. São Paulo is a really big city. I think that if you ever went to New York, you would know how it is. But I would say that just be aware of your surroundings. Like, you don't have to walk in the streets scared or anything like that, but just be aware. Don't go out in the streets checking up on your phone or etc. Just be aware. And when you go out at night, just go in groups, and don't like walk around at night by yourself. Just know where you're going in crowded areas. That you probably will be fine. Like, it's just general tips of when you're going to travel to any place other than Switzerland or something like this.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I've heard about international travel. I haven't made it to Brazil yet. The closest I've gotten to this point so far is Peru. That's obviously not Brazil. But just what I hear usually with a lot of travel, and this goes for big cities, it goes for Philadelphia, it goes for New York, as you mentioned. I would assume, like, if you have your cell phone out, don't have it out like someone could just run by and take it. Have it securely in.
That's the most common thing that happens. Yes,
we're talking phone security. Keep it tight, right? High and tight. Make sure it's secure. Ladies with the purses, people with the purses, the carry-alls, whatever. Don't leave them over a chair, right? That seems like it's always that begging to be taken. If they're at a restaurant or something, they're seated outside, they have it on the chair, and then boom, it's just gone in 2 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a general tips, like jewelry, neck chains, and those types of stuff as well. Because as you mentioned, someone can just come up and just take it and leave in their bikes or something like this, and you won't even notice. It's really rare to be robbed at gunpoint, so I wouldn't be worried about that. But like pickpocketing and these types of stuff, it can happen. So just be aware of your surroundings, and you'll probably be fine.
What's the name of the pub that people are gathering at, or people can gather at? The owner's a big Eagles fan.
Yeah, St. Paul's Pub.
St. Paul's Pub, and is that close to the stadium?
Not close to the stadium. It's in the the stadium is in a city called, not a city, in a neighborhood called Itaquera, which is like on the far south. So you can go there through subway, which is we have a really good subway line here in São Paulo. So it's really easy to go there by subway. The subway leave you right in front of the stadium, basically. So you don't have to worry about Uber or taxi. You can just go by subway. But it's not close to the specific pub. The pub is I think they will have an event on the 5th for American Eagles fans. I can probably if anyone wants to join, just find me on Twitter. I can give directions. But it's a really good pub, and the owner is an Eagles fan, so you will feel right at home. They have Philly cheesesteaks there as well. So
how are they? How are the Philly cheesesteaks there?
Well, I've never had a real Philly cheesesteak because I've never went to Philadelphia, but I think they are pretty good. Yeah, not yet.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. So last thing, when it comes to just the Brazil in general, and São Paulo in general, when it comes to food, like when you're away from home or whatever, what do you miss the most? Like what is the food people have to have when they come into Brazil?
I'd say that the São Paulo specialty is their pizza. It's the best pizza in Brazil. Yes, better than any other state. So if you really like pizza, right. yeah, I think.
Wait, are you saying better than any other state in the United States? Or are you saying just better than anything else in South America?
I'd say in South America, but
okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, the pizza places that I went to in the United States, they are not better than São Paulo as well. But I've never been to. Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. Oh, now you're going to get the people riled up, my friend.
Yeah, I think the Brazilians are very creative with their pizzas. So you can find some weird kinds and different kinds of pizza in Brazil if you look it up.
People don't put pineapple on pizza down there, do they?
Yeah, sometimes I don't like pineapple in pizza, but
all right.
I think that but we put some weird stuff in pizza, like hamburgers and Doritos and all different kinds of stuff. Yeah, mess up stuff, but
okay. All right.
Doritos pizza and etc. Yeah, hot dog pizza.
All right, now you lost me on that one. But the Doritos pizza thing, I'll tell you this: you put Doritos on anything, chances are I'm going to eat it. That's just the rule. You can't let Doritos go to waste. Is there just looking at this Eagles team right now? An Eagles fan since 2009 when you discovered this team when they beat the crap out of the Giants. How do you feel about this particular Eagles team going into the season? What are your expectations for this Eagles squad?
Well, I'll say that after last year's collapse, I am a little bit skeptical about the team. I'm not sure about Nick Sirianni anymore, and I think that we have a great offense. I think that the additions that we had this year with Dotson and Barkley, I think that this offense is really good. I'm not too sure about the defense though. I like that we have new coordinators that actually know what they're doing now, and but I'm a little worried about the secondary because I think that aside from Slay, we have a bunch of rookies and second years, and I'm not too sure how they're gonna handle. Also, the linebacker position, I'm not too sure as well. Like, I know that Howie doesn't care about linebackers, but at least they should be able to cover somebody. So those are my biggest worries, and I just hope that we can survive winning games with the offense, and that I hope that the defense is just good enough for us to win games. But I think that we are contenders. Just a little bit worried about some of this stuff.
All right. What? Look at us, a hemisphere away from one another. We're separated by a pretty fat equator. And look at us being on the same page about this Eagles team for the upcoming season. It's a beautiful world when that happens, friend. Now, I just need some help here for helping out Eagles fans that are going down to the game that don't speak Portuguese. And just in case, I thought we could prepare some phrases, if that's okay. Could I run some phrases by you? We can help out the Eagles that are going down there?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right, let's just start off with an easy one. Fly, Eagles, fly. What's that sound like in Portuguese?
Voing, Eagles, voing.
Voing, Eagles, voing. Voing or voing?
Voing.
Voing.
V-O-E-N. Voing.
Voing. Voing, Eagles, voing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. 1 for 1. All right. It's a real simple one. Go Birds.
Vamos Águias.
Vamos Águias. All right. Wonderful. All right. How about this one? A little bit lengthier, but we'll go with it. No one likes us. We don't care.
This one is a bit hard, but let's do it. Ninguém gosta de nós. A gente não liga.
Yeah, not even. That sounded German. Are you sure that's Portuguese? Are you sure? That's Portuguese? All right. Just give it to me one more time.
Ninguém gosta da gente. A gente não liga.
All right. I'm taking your word for it. Now, I need something special for the Packers. I was trying to think. How about Reggie White? In heaven, Reggie White is an eagle.
No céu, Reggie White é eagle.
That'd be all right. Fine. And then finally, this is the most important one probably because I believe this is universal no matter where you are in the world. Cowboys suck.
Okay, this one I have two different phrases for that because we don't have a word for suck, so we do Cowboys fading, like they stink. We can do
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, or we can do foda-se os Cowboys, which is bleep the Cowboys.
It is what? I'm sorry?
Bleep the Cowboys. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to need that one. Give me the first word of that one more time.
Foda-se os Cowboys.
All right, then fair enough. Foda-se os Cowboys. That's the first time I curse on my show. But if it's in Portuguese, it's okay. Gabriel, hey, look, in all honesty, man, thank you for hitting me up and being like, hey there, buddy, back off. We get to see the Eagles down here for a change. Congratulations to you, man. Seriously, like my heart goes out to you because I couldn't imagine falling in love with the team from afar, never really getting into experiencing it, and then all of a sudden, the NFL. Hey, by the way, your favorite team is going to be playing right there in your home city. So that is a beautiful thing. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. I'm very excited. I cannot wait for next week.
And you are going to the game?
Yes, I'm going to the game, yes.
Fantastic. Gabriel Bessa, ladies and gentlemen, Eagles fan all the way down there from Brazil. Appreciate you joining us and helping us with our Philly to Portuguese. One more thing. How would you say, I guess it would be Foing Parking Authority? We don't like the parking authority in Philadelphia. What was the word for the Cowboys when you tell them to bleep themselves?
Foda-se os Cowboys.
Foda-se Parking Authority. There you go. Now that's a true Philadelphian.
Yes.
Gabriel, thank you so much, brother. Enjoy the game. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Thank you.
How about that guy? How much fun was that? That was fun, man. I had a blast with him. He was a good time. Yes, I'll put it up one more time. There's his social media. You guys can follow him on Twitter at Gabe H. Eagles fan. Gabe H. Eagles fan on Twitter or X, whatever. So yeah, enjoy. I did look up the 2009 game where he became an Eagles fan, and the Eagles the previous year lost the NFC Championship game. That was the year that could have been an all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl between the Steelers and the Eagles, obviously. But after that year, the Eagles actually had themselves a pretty decent season. But they were terrible against the Cowboys, of course. But in this game against the Giants, that was the year they lost back-to-back games to the Cowboys in Week 17 and then the first round of the playoffs. It was a 40-17 win over the Giants. And Donovan McNabb threw for 3 touchdown passes. LaShawn McCoy ran for 82 yards, had a 66-yard run, ran for a touchdown. Leonard Weaver ran for 75 yards and a touchdown. Leonard Weaver, what's up? Eli Manning threw 2 picks because, of course, he did. Brandon Jacobs was still running for the Giants. Jeremy Maclin, Jason Avant were in the game. Eldra Buckley had 2 carries for 6 yards. I forgot that person existed. What was going on in the sack department? Jason Babin had a sack. Antonio Dixon had a sack. What's the world coming to? Quentin Demps and Asante Samuel came up with interceptions. Pick it off Eli Manning. Eli Manning face. Yeah. That he's like, I'm hooked. And then that season ended in disappointment. Wah, wah. What did the Eagles end up being that year? Were they 10-6? 11-5. Then they got spanked by they got shut out by the Cowboys in Week 17. And then they lost to the Cowboys 34-14 in the postseason. That was the banjo game. I was at that game. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. That was pretty horrendous. Anyway, thanks to Gabriel once again for joining the show. Much appreciated. Hey, let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get up to get on the Game Time app. Get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. That's the Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase. The Game Time app is fantastic. The Game Time app now has Game Time picks that allows you to filter through all the fluff to get right to the games and the seats at the best prices. The best seats at the best prices with the Game Time picks feature on the Game Time app. You want to go to the game, want to go to the concert, want to go to the comedy show? Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And once again, go to the Game Time app, and you can also do this. You can toggle the all-in pricing feature as well, so you know exactly what you're paying before checkout. So there's no surprise sticker shock at the end of checkout. Wait, how do these $20 tickets become $30 tickets? No. You know when you toggle the feature for the all-in pricing. They have last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals. They even have ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. So let's say you're going to a concert or a comedy show. You might miss the opening act. You might miss the middle. But you'll see that headliner at a great discounted rate, courtesy of the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Let's get into the chat check. I see you guys commenting. April, I had to put you up. That was just too good a comment. Basically, if you're traveling through Sao Paulo, Kensington rules apply. I saw that come up in the chat, so I had to get that in there. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Just be aware of your surroundings. Here's what I always this is one more thing I will tell people about my own experiences in international travel or big city travel. Big city travel, okay? Includes Philadelphia, includes New York. If you're not really familiar with the areas, no earbuds, no headphones. Be aware of where you are in that moment. Be very much aware of who's around you. I feel like I'm talking to like a high school student, like getting ready to go on like backpacking through Europe or something. Like just be around, just be aware of everything around you. That's the way it's got to be. You're only going to be there for a short time, probably, right? I don't know if anyone's going down for like a full week, but just be aware of everything around you at all times. Don't put the earbuds in. Don't put the AirPods in. No headphones. Just understand what's around you. Listen to everything, because it can be a little overwhelming, especially if no one's ever traveled internationally before, where they're really out of sorts. I've seen some stuff in my travels. People just seem totally normal when they're getting ready to. I've gone on big group trips, and people seem like they're fine. I can't wait. This is good. And then they get there and they realize how far away from home they are. And for some people, that could be a little jarring. Anyway, so just be aware. Jason, what's going on? How you doing? We all knew Walker would do this. Do us in. Yeah, he did us in. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? James Alexander, good morning. The performance was awful. I concur. Jason A., we all knew this. It's sad money makes their decisions. Yep. And that's exactly what's making the decision. However, let's also use that money to make a decision, which is shut him down. Let's do that. April, good morning. Like, basically what I mean by that is $18 million, you want to make sure that you get something out of that, right? Well, right now, you know you're not getting anything out of it. I'll go to a car analogy for this one, okay? If you love this car, you spend a lot of money on this car, right? And it's not running right, you're going to put it in the shop, right? Because you might spend whatever, $1,000 to make sure that you're at least recouping the $75,000 you might put into it. Like, sometimes you got to spend money to make money kind of thing. Do that with Taijuan Walker. Shut him down. Let him work on himself a little bit. That doesn't cost you any extra money. And you make the team better. So, kind of helps. Jay Snay, what's going on? Good morning. April. Walker was absolute poop emoji last night. Poop emoji show. Yesterday, he was. Mullets! Hopefully people followed Farzi philosophy and booed the front office. I didn't hear anybody booing the front office. The Phillies also did him a favor by not taking him out in the fourth inning. Because if they would have taken him out with one out, I think that's what he really started struggling. Caratini got a single. Gamble went up there, got the 2-run homer that was overturned and ruled a double. You had second and third with nobody out. Myers got the home run. If they would have taken him out after the Myers 2-run double, then he would have gotten booed. Oh my goodness gracious, he would have gotten booed terribly, taking him out of the game at that point. But they didn't. They kept him in, and then they never had to take him out of the game. They never had to go to the mound to get him, and he never had to do that walk of shame. I think that's also a favor the Phillies were doing. Sean Kilrain, good morning. Good morning. What's going on? April, at this point, is the money or winning more important to the front office? Well, yeah, I agree. At this point, from this point on, it should be the money. It should be the, winning. The money is going to dictate them not DFAing them. The money is going to dictate them just shutting them down, which I can swallow that pill. Sean Kilrain, as far as you need to go out and get Trevor Bauer. Oh boy. He could be your fifth starter. Sit 18 million Walker's ass on the bench. I don't think they're going to be making any acquisitions. I'm fine with just Colby Allard coming up. Colby Allard's been really good for you in limited, sample size, obviously. But I feel pretty good about him making starts for you as the season winds down. And you're only going to need him 4-5 times, maybe 6, as the season winds down. 5 probably. Sean Kilrain, Atlanta keeps on losing players, but man, do they keep on winning. Swept the Twins behind Chris Sale's gem. have won 12 of their last 16 games and now are within 5 games of the Phillies. Yeah, that's a good sign. One thing I didn't see was the Dodgers. Yeah, Dodgers beat the Orioles. So Dodgers have sole possession of first place in the world. Brewers won yesterday. Braves won, obviously. Yeah. Yankees lost to the Nationals, so that happened. The Guardians need to get back on track for their own sanity. My father-in-law is enjoying the hell out of that. But yeah, Sean, you're exactly right. Nick Gonzalez got Hurts at plus 1,500, put 500 on it. Wish me luck, Farzy. What, on MVP? Have at it, man. Good for you. I like that. That's a great plus 1,500. That's great. Jason A., what's going on? Damn, Jack Stahl's back too. Didn't see that. Yes, he is back with a vengeance. Rob! What's up, Rob? Game in Brazil is a train wreck. It hasn't even happened yet. Sean, go to the Phillies in the NL East. Phillies in the NL East? What the hell did I say? Did I say something to the contrary? Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Say what you want about Atlanta, but they are dangerous no matter the record. Yeah. I'm scared more of the Braves now than I have been over the last 2 years. They got no philosophy. They just go out there and they do their thing. How I wake up every morning. Oh, well, there you go. Jordan Coughlin, what's going on? Yeah, I'd be pissed if I paid to watch Walker pitch. Thank God my kids and I get to see Wheeler on the bump Saturday night. There you go, Jordan. Have fun. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Jordan Walker's pitching because of $18 million? Yes. Sean Gillespie, a Brazilian Eagles fan? Love it. How could you not, right? Hutch, what's up, Hutch? Phillies need to cut their losses with Walker. This guy just doesn't look like he wants to. I think the guy wants to play. I think he absolutely wants to. I think he is dumbfounded as to why he can't pitch. Look, I don't want to be giving compliments here to a guy who's terrible, but the fact that he did, look, he knew he didn't have it yesterday. In the 4th inning of that game, even before the run started really coming, 5 runs in the inning, you had to know you didn't have it. You were getting beat up. 13 hits, right? So even though he knows he's getting shelled and he doesn't have it, the fact that he still wants to go out there because look, you're down 6-0. Your offense isn't doing anything either. Do you want to waste bullpen arms before you go up against the Braves? No. So he gave you 2 more innings. Thank you for that. It's the best thing he's done for the Phillies all season. And now you have a fresh bullpen because it's not like Michael Mercado was going to be throwing any pitches. Weston Wilson did well. I have a new rule. Tell me what you think. If you have a position player pitching, then they should only face bullpen pitchers. Like the bullpen pitchers should come in and have to hit. If it's the 9th inning, only if it's the 9th inning. You have to go see Jeff Hoffman pitch, like if it was reversed. You'd have to see the bullpen go out there and hit. Hector Neris for the Astros. He'd have to come back and do that. Or he'd have to go and do that. April likes Gabriel. How do you not? April's awesome. Or April is awesome. But Gabriel's pretty cool too. Dartmouth. That's funny. Sao Paulo soccer fans hate the color green. No, yes, they do. We covered that in the interview. It'll be okay. They will understand that you're an American football fan. Doritos pizza, even in Brazil. Yeah. Again, you put Doritos on anything, and I'll be like, I'll have a bite. I might not call it pizza. I might call usually I don't call when you put pineapple on pizza. It's not pizza anymore. It stopped being pizza once you put pineapple on it. So I just call that pineapple toast. That's what I call that, because that makes more sense to me than calling that pizza. Now you put Doritos on pizza, and I will call that, I'll call that Doritos toast. But it ain't pizza anymore. I will have a bite, though. The Petit Twiz, what's going on? Forza Pásaros. There you go. T-Bro. Farzy, can we get bleep the Cowboys in Portuguese? Oh, don't you worry. Did I not have you covered? T-Bro? I wrote it in my notes. Sucks that Dave didn't trade for a fifth starter at the deadline, says Hutch, hoping this clown would be able to give you anything. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Jason A. likes Gabriel as well. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. Thank you. The NL East, it was part of the comment. I'm a moron, but you know that already, Sean. Thank you. Appreciate you guys in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Philadelphia Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves in game 1 of a 4-game series tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Oh, my goodness gracious. 4-game series with the Phillies up 5 games on the Braves. 6:40 start time tonight. Former Phil Charlie Morton gets the start against Christopher Sanchez. Righty-lefty matchup. Charlie Morton 7-7 on the season with a 4.24 ERA. He is coming off a 5 2/3 performance, allowing 2 runs on 8 hits. Did give up a home run and 2 walks against the Washington Nationals. Prior to that, he went 5 1/3, allowing 1 run against the Angels. He hasn't been shellacked since the start against the Brewers, where he gave up 8 runs on 9 hits and 4 home runs and 2 2/3 against the Brewers in a 16-7 loss back on August 8th. Hope for that energy, Phillies fans. Charlie Morton, I believe he faced the Phillies earlier in the year. No, he did not face the Phillies earlier in the year. They missed him. Christopher Sanchez, like I said, gets the ball for the Phils in this matchup. Sanchez comes into this one 9-9 on the season with a 3.51 ERA. Fresh off a start against the Atlanta Braves, where he had a quality start of 6 innings, 3 runs, 9 hits. Did give up a home run back on the 22nd of August. So we'll see how this one plays out for the Phils. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. I did tease something before the show. That did happen. You're not mistaken. I did tease it. Later this morning, big announcement. Keep your eyes peeled. It's where I'm going to be for football season. As I've been saying, I'll say it again. A lot of familiar faces I'll be surrounded by. So I really look forward to that for my responsibilities for football season with a certain program. That's all I'll be saying. But yeah, stay tuned to my social media. I'll be announcing that later today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, where yours truly brings you all your Phillies postcasts after each and every Phillies game. Thanks, everybody. Be back with you guys tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia and tomorrow morning for the Farzy Show. Like and subscribe to it all. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. See ya.